Hey students, now that we're working on the transition from paragraphs to essays, we will look at one essay in depth, and this is the essay that's in your textbook. It's on pages 55 and 56, and the paragraph that it comes from is on page 54. The essay is called Animal Camouflage. I know this essay has a lot of difficult words, so you might want to pause this video frequently, both when you listen to the audio file and now that we're looking at the organization of the essay, so that you can make sure you understand these words. Keep a note of all these vocabulary words because there are quite a lot of them. All right, I'm going to resize this window, move it down, make it a lot smaller. Move it over. Maybe I'll move it up here. There. Now you can probably see it. All right. So this essay is called Animal Camouflage. And move it a little bit over there. How's that? We can see it. Animal Camouflage. All right. The essay has 5 paragraphs. This is a traditional organization of essays, 5 paragraphs. The first paragraph is called the Introductory Paragraph, or just Introduction. We will have lots more about introductions next week. But, no, not next week, the week after. But this particular essay has the introduction about animal camouflage, and it starts out with animals in the wild have many natural enemies. That's a pretty general statement. A lot of introductions begin with some general statements. You know it has something to do with animals. You know it has to do with animals in the wild. And you know that it says they have enemies, all right? That's leading down to the thesis statement. The thesis statement is a statement that tells what the whole essay is going to be about. The thesis statement, just like a topic sentence, has 2 parts. Sometimes it can have 3 parts, but 2 parts. And that is the topic, what's this all about, and the controlling idea, what are you going to say about that topic? And this particular thesis statement says, many animals find security in blending in with their environment. So the topic would be animals finding security, and the controlling idea, what about that, is they blend in with their environment. That's your introductory paragraph. Now you're going to write body paragraphs to support that thesis statement. You're going to be writing examples, maybe a few little anecdotes. Remember that? Anecdotes, stories. Or facts, data, statistics. Later on, when you're more advanced, you can use quotes from famous people or not so famous people, and a whole lot of other things to support your thesis statement. And the thesis statement is, animals find security in blending in with their environment. All right. Body paragraph number 1 is organized the way all our paragraphs are organized. There's a topic sentence in the beginning and a concluding sentence at the end of each body paragraph. In this case, it seems to be about birds. So it says, in birds, for example, while adult males are brightly colored and very noticeable, adult females and young chicks are light brown or sand colored in order to blend into their background, blending in with their environment, and escape the sharp eyes of a predator. A predator is somebody that hunts them. And then the writer here gives 2 examples, talks about one bird, the first one's a cardinal, which is a red bird, and then something called a peacock, which is a very colorful bird, at least the male is very colorful, but it says the female is not. So at the end of this paragraph, the writer concludes by saying, in short, adopting camouflage colors helps the female birds survive and raise another generation of birds. So now you've seen the introductory paragraph and the first body paragraph. We call these paragraphs between the introduction and the conclusion body paragraphs, and there can be lots of those. In this case, there are 3, but there could be 2 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 200. There's no limit to how many body paragraphs there can be. So that's body paragraph number 1, all about these birds. Now the second body paragraph talks about mammals. Mammals are animals that have live babies, like human beings, and give their babies milk, what to drink in the beginning as they're growing. And it starts out in body paragraph number 2. Many mammals have also adopted the colors of their surroundings. Well, they can say also because the first paragraph talked about birds and about how they adopt colors to their surroundings in order to survive. And here now they're talking about mammals. And they give 2, or you might say 3 examples here. The first one is this zebra, which is a striped animal, and they say that it can practically hide in the bush in Africa, and you can't see it among the shadows and the branches. Then they talk about a lion, and then they talk about his wife, the lioness. Looks just like part of the grounds. They're talking more about blending in with their environment. So it says the camouflage of the lioness makes her invisible to her prey. And the conclusion is, concluding sentence, all these mammals have, over many, many years, developed this protective coloring to assist them in the struggle to survive. Have you noticed how it gets repeated over and over? That's normal in American essay writing. It's very formula-driven. It's organized in very, very particular ways. Of course, we do have thousands of other kinds of essays, but this is a very standard academic essay that people expect you to be able to write at a university. Here comes body paragraph 3. Now we talked about birds. Now the next one was mammals. And the third one is fish. So the first sentence says, ocean dwellers use camouflage as well. Ocean dwellers are things that live in the ocean. And then it talks about fish. And it says most fish are darker on the top than the bottom. Then they give an example of a mackerel. And after they talk about the mackerel, they give an example of flatfish that lie on the bottom, and they look just like the bottom from above. Then it says the result is, because they look just like their surroundings, these fish survive and avoid becoming someone else's lunch. Well, that's nice, thank you. Although I would like them for lunch. That's your third body paragraph. Now comes the concluding paragraph. Oh, sorry about that email coming in. The concluding paragraph is a conclusion to the whole essay, and you'll notice, again, it's repeated, but you use slightly different grammar and slightly different vocabulary. So now's the time when you need to know a lot of synonyms. So look that up in dictionaries. Lots of words. Here in the first sentence of the concluding paragraph, it says, in summary, looking like their environment is helpful to these animals for the survival of the species. The last sentence of the concluding paragraph says, the safety these animals find in their protective coloring has helped them survive over the ages. It's basically the same thing over and over. And take a look at the thesis statement again. Many animals find security in blending in with their environment. Well, that's pretty much the same thing as saying, looking like their environment is helpful to these animals for the survival of the species, their group. And then it says, the safety these animals find in their protective coloring, looking like their environment, had helped them survive over the ages. So this is a standard organization. We'll look at many, many different kinds of essays later on, but think about this 5-paragraph essay as your basic essay. And this is the way we're going to be writing in this class, with an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and a concluding paragraph. Hope you are enjoying it.